welcome back to Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. I'm really excited today. You know why? We have a special guest reader today. I think she's here.
Miss Annette's Haunted Little Farm. Here we go, Holly. We're going to go in. Come on. Let's go.
Hi, Holly. Hi, Mrs. Beth.
Let's go to the farm.
Come on in.
Oh, here we go.
Holly, you're so pretty.
Make sure we close the gate.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Holly, there's going to be all sorts of smells here.
She's going to really like it.
All sorts of smells here. Oh, my goodness.
Holly, you're so cute.
We've got our bandanas on. We've got our scarves
Oh, my goodness. You guys look fantastic.
They've got their pink on just like you. Listen to him. Listen to him. Ah. That's a lion. That's a sheep. Oh, no. Listen. What do you think? What did you smell it? You see the birds? Huh? Oh, this is fun.
Hi, Miss Beth.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. And I want you to meet Miss Annette, my dog, Holly.
Hi, Holly. How are you? Did you
It's-
come to the little farm? Oh, my goodness. She's so excited.
Oh, and Holly, I want to tell you a little bit about Holly. Holly's name comes from Holiday Park. So many of you have been walking or hiking or been to the playground at Holiday Park. And you might see Miss Beth and Holly walking there someday.
Oh.
But this is her first visit to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. And
She's
she
so
loves the goats. She
behaved.
loves walking around and finding all sorts of treasures. But I think she's going to go wander now. So say bye-bye, Holly. You can come back when we read a special book about a dog.
How about that? Well, thank you, Miss Beth, for reading our book. And our book today is Bone Dog, written by Eric Rohrman. And I think it's illustrated by him as well. Yep. And Miss Beth, you will do the honors.
Thank you very much. Oh, we'll love it. And if Holly comes back, we'll share it with her too.
Okay.
And I kind of picked this book because I love dogs so much, and I know Miss Annette does too. She has
sure do.
two very precious ones inside while we're visiting outside.
Yeah, they're napping.
Oh, happy October, boys and girls, and your families who are watching. I have a very special story that I want to read to you today. And I introduced you to Holly, and I kind of picked this book because I'm such a dog lover. And Holly's out in the little farm in the big city, so she may wander in any time we might be reading. But this is Bone Dog, and again, the author is Eric Rohrman, and he is also the illustrator. So this is a fun book for this season for those of us that love October. And oh, what a treat. So I'm going to open it up to my title page as well, as you can see. And we've got Bone Dog again. And oh, Bone Dog kind of looks like a Holly dog. It shows the title is Bone Dog. I don't know if the dog's name's Bone Dog until we start reading. But on here, the dog is covered in fur just like Holly is. Holly has almost that same kind of fur. And like I said, she has her bandana on. And then we turn the page. And this time, what do you see? The dog is just bones. I don't see her fur. She still has her collar around her. She has a bone in her mouth. But her fur and her skin and all that lovable fat is kind of gone. So she's just bones. Okay, here we go with our story, boys and girls. We're going to meet our characters. We know that there's a boy and a bone dog, but we don't know what their names are, their real names are. I doubt whether the dog's name is really Bone Dog, but let's see. Ella and Gus had been friends for a long, long time. So let's see who Ella and Gus are. So look at our pictures. Look at our illustrations. Who do you think Ella is and who do you think Gus is? We've got 2 pages here that I want you to see. And look, I think the boy might be Gus, and he is riding one of the dogs. So that must be Ella. And Ella may turn in to be the Bone Dog. So let's see what happens. One night, Ella said, "I'm an old dog and won't be around much longer. But no matter what happens, I'll always be with you." For a long while, they sat together in the moonlight. Then Ella said, "A promise made under a full moon cannot be broken." I hope you're looking at the sky, because last night, before I read this story, there was a beautiful full moon. But that's just kind of something that we want to believe in sometimes. Listen to that again. A promise made under a full moon cannot be broken. So let's look at the illustration. There's Gus and there's Ella under the full moon. Look at them. So they've made a promise to each other that I'll never ever forget you no matter what. So let's see what happens. After Ella was gone, Gus didn't feel like leaving the house, but he did. What do you think happened to Ella? So Ella may have been old or sick, or it was just time for Ella to leave, but they made that promise under the moon that they'd always be with each other. But Gus was so sad he never wanted to leave. He didn't want to do his chores anymore, and it looks like part of his chores was picking up the leaves in the fall on a beautiful fall day. And when Halloween came around, Gus didn't even feel like trick-or-treating. He was so sad. He was missing his Ella so much. But he pulled on his costume and trudged out the door. He really didn't want to go. How do you think he's dressed? Look how he's dressed. I think he's got a skeleton costume on. Ooh, that might be what you're going to dress up like. Oh my goodness, and there's all sorts of dogs that are out there, and he's probably thinking about his Gus. When the night grew dark and his big bag grew heavy, remember he's trick-or-treating. Gus started home, past the school, around the pond, and through the graveyard. The wind moaned, so it was real eerie out, maybe a little windy. The clouds swallowed the moon, so you couldn't see all the moon. Sometimes that happens. There's a big bright moon and all of a sudden the clouds come over it. And here he is dressed as his skeleton and he's all by himself. So he's kind of feeling kind of eerie, maybe kind of scared. And he doesn't have his Ella with him. So that's why he probably isn't as confident as he could be, because he's missing her so much. Uh-oh. Gus was surrounded. Wait till you see. In the graveyard. Look at all the skeletons surrounding him in the night. And the moon is just shining a little bit. And there he is. Do you think he's starting to get a little nervous or a little scared? And he's by himself when he's out trick-or-treating. He has nobody else with him. So he's getting kind of nervous, I think. Well, let's see. And you can see the graveyard on this page. Okay, let's look. Gus was surrounded. "Come along now," said a skeleton. Here's another character talking. "It's Halloween, and you know what that means." "What does it mean?" asked Gus. "Numbskull," snorted another skeleton. Then they all danced and sang out. "We shriek and we growl and we screech and we swoon and we hiss and we howl 'neath the blood-red moon." And sometimes that moon is so bright it does turn red. "You know, we do skeleton stuff." "Ooh. But I'm not a skeleton," Gus said. "I'm a boy." He's not a skeleton. He's got a skeleton under his skin, but he's got his skin and his costume on, so he's protected. So there they all dancing around him. Here he is over here. He said, "I'm a boy, not a skeleton." But we all have a skeleton. Take care of your skeleton. Don't fall and trip. A boy, and he's alive. And you know what that means? Bon appetit. I wonder what that means. They lunged at Gus. "You've got guts, kid, but not for long." Do you know that term, bon appetit? If you've been to a fancy restaurant or you're having something good at home, somebody might say, "Oh, enjoy, bon appetit." That means enjoy this good food. Miss Annette even said she was making some chili today. she might say, bon appetit, because she's worked hard and made it delicious. And they said, you've got guts. Your guts are all your innards inside. And these skeletons said, we're going to eat you. Bon appetit, you've got guts inside. Somebody might say you've got guts if you're real brave, too. Just then, the wind calmed and the moon broke, shimmering from the clouds. Oh, he's dropped his bag of goodies because he got so nervous and scared. He thinks those skeletons are going to eat him, get his guts. But he says, I'm a boy, I'm a boy. Oh, who should he be thinking about? Who do you think might make him brave? Let's see. The skeleton's world. Ella, cried Gus. Oh, he's thinking maybe Ella's memory and Ella's spirit might get him out of this. Oh, he's thinking, oh, Ella, help me. I wish you were here with me. A bone dog, cried the skeletons. They thought, what are you talking about? A bone dog, a skeleton dog. So that would be the memory. I'm looking at Miss Annette's right now, and I just looked out and I saw a big skeleton. Whew, I probably looked really surprised because I just put my eye on a skeleton that's looking at me while I'm reading. Oh my, Holly, thank you for being here. Is that all you've got? The skeletons say. Just this bony little dog? Well, tickle my ribs. Has anybody tickled your ribs and you giggle and you laugh so hard? So you say, I'm not ticklish. And somebody tickles your feet, but in your ribs is where you go, ah! So they're tickling his ribs. Well, tickle my ribs. Why would we be afraid of a bone dog? We're not afraid of a bone dog, the skeleton said. Oh, Ella, help him, help him, help him. Ella barked and she growled. It gave Gus an idea. He joined in barking and growling. Together with all their might at the top of their voices, boy and dog howled in the night. Holly, can you howl? Arr! Arr! Woof, woof! Arr! They're going to try to chase those skeletons away. Oh, they worked so hard. Oh, they worked so hard to get those skeletons away. Let's see. What's going to happen? Oh, they're running. They're running for their lives. A moment later, an answer came from the distance. The skeletons stopped dead in their tracks. Woof! Dogs! Real live dogs! What do you think the dogs are going to do? They're going to chase those skeletons away. They were scared to death. Skeletons usually aren't afraid, but a howling, barking, chasing dog, they were really afraid of. So, let's see. They look at their expressions. Do you see their expressions on their faces? Oh, they are so scared. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you should see their bodies running. Look at their bodies, twisting and turning and running as fast as they could. Do you see tickle their ribs? I could tickle their ribs. I can see their ribs. Woo! They need some chili on their bones. Look at the dogs. The dogs have plenty of fat on their little bones. They are chasing and chasing and chasing those skeletons away. All in the spirit of Ella. Ella's the one that saved him from the skeletons. And there goes the spirit of Ella with a bone in her mouth. There she is. So do you think Gus really had Ella with him all that time in spirit? Afterwards, Gus and Ella sat together in the moonlight. Gus asked, will I see you again? Remember what they said about the moon. A promise made under a full moon cannot be broken, said Ella. With that, she disappeared in the night. So whenever Gus got sad or scared or upset, he always knew he could talk to Ella. I talk to Holly all the time. But if I have other pets that maybe I've lost, I talk to them too because I have such special memories of them. So it's okay to be sad and think about them when you need courage, and you need help, and you need encouragement. Just talk to yourself and talk to your loved ones and talk to your pets because they bring so much comfort. and look at them sitting under the moon. Will he see Ella again? Yes, whenever he wants to, because they made that promise to be friends forever, even when Ella wasn't there in person, sitting on his lap, always there in his memory. Let's look. And a beautiful picture at the end. But Gus finally gets home from his Halloween. And oh, what a night that was, meeting all those skeletons. And his bag, is his bag still full of goodies? I think so. It says, and Gus picked up his bag and headed for home. There he goes. Oh, maybe you hear the goats. You hear the goats in the little farm in the big city? They're ringing their bells. They like the end of the story because it's a happily ever after of courage and hope and memories. And that's your book. And you know what? Miss Annette got this book at the public library. So if you want to share Bone Dog with your family and read for yourself, go check it out. I had never read it before, but I think Holly's going to want to listen to this again and again and again. So thank you for sharing this with Mrs. Beth. I enjoyed being with you. Have a happy Halloween, a safe Halloween, a beautiful October, and the fall and the autumn of the leaves. Love you guys. Ditchy over it.
Oh, Miss Beth, you did a beautiful job. Thank you so much. Will you promise me under the full moon that you'll come back and read a story
Oh,
again?
I would. Maybe we'll even do it around a bonfire. We could do it at night. There's a beautiful bonfire at Miss Annette's. And again, that skeleton over there is looking at me, so I know I have to keep my promise and come back and read again. I love being invited. And Holly will come too. She loves it here.
Yes, she
She's
does.
used to it
She's
now.
having a wonderful time. She's just walking around, smelling all the smells, and there's plenty of smells, girls.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Miss Annette.
Thank you. And thank you for visiting Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. Now make sure you get outside today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.